Hello and welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are so inclined. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this, the SteelSeries Apex 5 gaming keyboard, with what they say is hybrid mechanical switches, whatever that means. Now, on the gold banner of marketing missteps that SteelSeries like to put out, they're just saying there's an OLED smart display. Cool, I guess. Anyway, let's unbox it and let's take a look. Okay, so what else do we get in the box? Obviously the keyboard, the main event right there. We also get the instruction manual. I'll read that later probably. And then we get this. I've mentioned this before in the Apex 3 review that I did. SteelSeries call this a premium magnetic wrist rest. Now the magnet part is totally correct. There's no lying there. There's definitely magnetization going on there. Premium. Not a chance. This thing is horrible. It just feels like rubber. It collects all of your hand grease and doesn't go away. It flexes. It just feels cheap. This is anything but premium. It's more, I would describe it more as to be perfectly honest with you. So don't be bought in by that. Now, the keyboard itself, I mock that, I do. The keyboard, however, is very, very pretty. It really, really is. It's the actual top of the plate itself for the keyboard is made from aircraft grade aluminium. Just to throw it out there, aircraft grade aluminium. Bicycles are made out of aircraft grade aluminium. It just doesn't sell as well to call it bicycle grade aluminium. But anyway, there you are. There's about, I think, off the top of my head, there are at least 5 different grades of aluminium that would be suitable for making aircraft. They're not that impressive. Anyway, with the aircraft grade aluminium, there is zero deck flex. At all. This thing is rock solid. The Apex 3, you felt like you could just fold it with your arms, but this is absolutely solid. And we do have the OLED screen, which I was kind of dismissive about at the start of the video. I accept, I was. I've had a bit of a play, and I quite like it. It's quite functional, and they've done well. We do also have the multimedia wheel, which is used for turn volume, things like that. Also has a bit of a clicky thing to it. Not sure if you can hear that. And there's the multimedia button here as well, which you can do many things with, but we will get onto that when we have a look at the SteelSeries engine. Anyway, the actual switches themselves, the hybrid mechanical switches. I have had a look. And they are pretty good, and they feel like mechanical switches. I'm not going to lie, they actually do. Now, I'm guessing they've decided to go blue, simply because blue are quite clicky anyway, so they sound more mechanical, which will help them sell the lie, I suppose. Now, the difference between the hybrid mechanical switches and an actual mechanical switch, there isn't that much to it, to be perfectly honest. I'm hopeful I have an animation about to pop up just to the left-hand side of me, or the right-hand side as you're watching. I'm confident that's how it works. I'm not sure. Anyway, as you can see in the animation, this switch actuates underneath it, so there is still a membrane beneath the actual deck of this board. As the switch itself, the cap depresses down the switch pushes a rod underneath to the membrane, which then completes the circuit, and you get a registered keystroke which shows on your computer as whatever it is that you press. Simple as that. The difference is on an actual mechanical key, the actuation goes on in the side of the actual mechanism itself, whereas this is on the underside. Cool. I'm sure I'll show an animation of how a mechanical switch actually works when I do the video in a couple of weeks' time, or whenever, for the Apex 7, which I've recently got. Now let's jump in and we'll have a look at the SteelSeries engine, see what sort of lighting effects we can do. I don't like RGB, but some do, so I feel I must show it. And I don't dislike the way that this is presented. I kind of like it. But anyway, let's move on to the engine now. So here we are in the SteelSeries engine software. It's much like iCUE and G-Hub and all the rest of them. However, I do quite like the implementation of this. Now, when you first plug the keyboard in and open up this software, you're greeted with a massive, scary red banner underneath where it says Apex 5, and it says critical firmware update required. But then you just click OK, and it does it for you. It takes about 5 seconds. Anyway, moving on. As we go into the software itself, it takes us onto the key bindings tab. Fun. So I'm not going to go into that because it's really, really boring. But anyway, up here, something that does pique my interest, the macro editor. It's easy to use. You just click launch, go into it, it opens up on the screen like this, click start, hit whatever keys you want for your macro, and then just simply click stop. And then you can save it, and you can have 6 of these. They're all independent. You do have actual designated keys on the keyboard itself, where page up and page down and all that jazz is. They're all macro keys, which is very good. Obviously, I'm not going to save that because it was nothing. Anyway, in illumination, it pains me to say I spent about a good 15 minutes just mucking around. I mean, as you can see, I've got a flat base color, and that's base color, by the way, guys. Static color because I'm a grown-up, but the child within then wanted me to turn this on, which is ripple. And as you can see, It sends a ripple of colour out. Now you can set the colours for these however you want, but like I said, I don't want to go too far into it, it's embarrassing. But in the base effects themselves, there are various different effects as well as just a static colour. All the usual like static, blend, breathe, I'm sure is in there. I've not even, oh yeah it is, and gradient apparently, and colour shift. There's also one called electric orange. Now I'm not sure what that is. I'm not going to click it because I kind of like the setup I already have. But anyway, the OLED part. Now, I'm sorry, SteelSeries. I was very dismissive as the OLED screen at the start of this video. However, I regret that now. It's rather good. I've had some good fun with it, to be honest. You can just go into the editor and you can upload a file from your computer. However, beware, it just pixelates it and it looks weird. So I wouldn't bother. But you can just muck around. Like, let's clear this. You get a pencil and you just use your mouse cursor, as you can see, and you can write whatever you want. And I will bring the camera in and show you what it looks like on the actual OLED itself. I kind of like it. I've spent far too long just mucking around with this, to be fair. I shouldn't really be admitting it, but I am just messing around again now. Anyway, that's as easy as that is, which is kind of cool. You can also get Discord chat through this, which is good, because then you don't need to tab out every time somebody chats in, which is kind of functional, I suppose, but I do like it. You can do all sorts. It'll even show you the display the track that you're listening to if you're listening to music with this. It's all very good, so I'm sorry that I was dismissive. I quite enjoy it. But there we are. Let's move on. Okay, so my final thoughts on this keyboard itself. Do I like it? Do I think it's worth the money? Yes, I kind of like it. I think it's a good keyboard for £80. I think, yeah, that's a solid purchase. A solid purchase. I'm confident you could buy an actual full mechanical keyboard for the same price. I'm not so confident you'd get an aluminium plate across the top. The actual deck itself is solid. The build quality wouldn't be quite what SteelSeries have produced here. The keys may feel a little bit better, but I doubt the stability. I doubt it's the same as these. There's very little wobble. Everything feels secure. Everything feels expensive, which I think is a very, very good thing. The OLED screen, I very much like. I think it's very functional. I do like the media keys. I just do. They do help out quite a lot. It saves leaning anywhere, especially if you're me and my speakers are quite far away. I don't have to stretch. I can just adjust the volume on here. So yeah, it's a definite recommend from me. For the price, happy days SteelSeries. Well done. Well done. But anyway, that's enough for this video. If you have liked what you've seen, do leave a thumbs up. If not, thank you very much for the view, hate viewer. But if you want to see more stuff like this, do feel free to subscribe, and why not hit the notification bell. But either way, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.